Great job, Konami. I just wanted to say, um, before this video begins, I just wanted to say, guys, that literally the day before this ban list literally dropped, I was recording and was about to upload my brand new tier limit deck profile post Pasadena, and of course, the day right after I record my video on my current deck list, we get a ban list. Unfortunate? Yup. Am I happy about a ban list? Yes. My thoughts on the ban list? We'll find out. I just got home from work. I already got spoiled on the ban list, but let's go ahead and go right into it. First thing, Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion got banned. I don't really know too much about what Curious does, but huge fu to Lightsworn, and yeah, okay. I did hear that it was a toxic thing. Mystic Mind, W's in the chat, boys. We got it. We finally got the fucking bitch. Mystic Mind has finally gone. It took way too long for Mystic Mind to get banned. It should have gone banned long ages ago. Herod of Orange Light. I'm very, 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 very hurt and sad about this. I do think that tier is a tier zero deck, and I do think that there were things in tier to get hit, but I do not agree with Herod of the Orange Light getting hit. Yes, Herod was a tuner, but what's it called? It doesn't really do too much. I see a lot of tier players are switching over to Herod of Green Light, which does the exact same thing of Herod of Orange Light. Only difference is Herald is a tune orange light's a tuner, green light isn't. So it is gonna be slightly harder for us to get into a Baron now. But I mean, we could really just run more diviners, to like even it out. We're just not getting them to gate. And the main thing we are running Herald for is literally just for Dimension Shifter. Um, Now with Herald being limited, it's just gonna be really hard to deal with Dimension Shifter now, which is gonna be rough for us. I like D Fisher was or D Shifter was always a huge issue, and I still think it is a super degenerate card. But I mean, okay, they chose to hit that. I'm kind of surprised they didn't limit it or ban Pearl Arena. But okay. Uh, Lyrillus, to semi whatever. Teller Knight, Potomaeus. Sorry if I butchered the name. I've been hearing a lot of things with this card. It does seem like a very spicy tech card that people are trying to playtest around with and see if they can add it. My personal thoughts with is I'm probably not gonna run or use it mainly just because I'm playing tier. But with some other decks, it might be something I would put into consideration. I don't. I read the effect. I do think it is a very good effect, but I don't really see it. Um, I don't really know how well it's going to be incorporated with other engines, just because it does seem a little too slow for me personally. Dimension Fisher and Macrocosmos being from limited to unlimited. That is a huge concern. Metaverse being unlimited doesn't really matter too much now that Mystic Mine already got hit. So we don't have to worry about Mystic Mine. I can't and see some people adding Metaverse into their tier decks just because it's for consistency purposes, so that way they can add their planets, so that way they can guarantee their pops. Just because Planet is still a very, very, very broken card in the format. Fire Formation Tenki being unlimited is very good just for Tri Brigade, which good for them. I do think that they're probably like a tier two, if not a rogue competitor deck, and also Salad being a rogue deck and also tier two. But I mean, cool that Fire Formation Tenki getting unbanned. It was definitely something that should. It was at its time to just get unlimited to help boost the rogue decks right now. D Fisher and Macrocosmos being unlimited is not a good look though for Konami. I don't think. I do agree and think that tier limits is a tier zero deck and it is the number one deck of the format. But going but I do see this as a very interesting take because in OCG they did semi limited Havness and they did limited Perloreno, but TCG is choosing to not hit tier directly and to hit them indirectly. And one thing they're trying to do is to add more floodgates, such as D Fisher and Macrocosmos. I do kind of think it is a good thing that they're that they are doing this, since the new structure deck of Dark World of is that what it's called, Dark Worlds, they're going to be coming out. So it's good, or Dark Worlds or Dark Lords or whatever. That should be very interesting once that structure deck comes out to work with D Fisher and Macrocosmos. But I mean, they're choosing to add more floodgates to floodgate out tier, which hurts tier tremendously, because now as a tier player we gotta watch out for 3D shifters, 3 dimension fishers, and 3 macrocosmos. Macrocosmos isn't too much of a worry, because if we have Rukulos on board, Rukulos can negate and destroy the Macrocosmos. D Fisher and D Shifter are still going to be a pain, and D Shifter is an even more problematic card now, mainly just because Herald of Orange Light is now limited. What's it called? And I don't see many people running the Herald of Green Light, specifically just because Herald of Green Light isn't a tuner. Now I can see there's gonna be lots of different routes tier players are gonna be able to take it with, but I am very interested to see how this is gonna come up into the new format. I don't think D Fisher and Macrocosmos was the correct way though for them to indirectly hit tier. I feel like there was a lot of ways they could have indirectly hit tier, such as again hitting the Shizu cards. They could have limited or semi-limited Kelbeck or Keldo, the two best Ishizu monsters. They could have semi or limited Havness, just so that way tier can't play during their opponent's turn as much. Um, what's it called? I'm glad they didn't hit tier, and I do know that it was recently announced that Power of the Elements was getting unlimited printings, which I do see it as a good thing. But I am very curious on if that was a indirect motive for why Konami chose not to ban any tier or sprite cards, because I also think Sprite Elf is a huge problematic card right now. I don't mind how it could bring it a level 2 or rank 2 once per turn every round as a quick effect, but just it's protecting cards and not letting them be targeted. I think that is a very broken thing with Sprite Elf, and I think Sprite Elf is a very powerful card right now in the format. Um, and also, Priloreno is just absolutely insane, guys. I'm also like very surprised they didn't hurt a bit. They didn't target Abyss Dweller. I thought one of the best ways they could have hit here was to get rid of Abyss Dweller, mainly just because Abyss Dweller is a floodgate and it hurt a lot, and I mean a lot of what's it called, of what's it called, rogue decks. But not only that, but Abyss Dweller just completely shut down the mirror matches. Whoever in a mirror match, whoever went first and got to set up Abyss Dweller on the opposing player, 9 times out of 10 will get the win. Unless the opposing player has like a imperm, a droplet, or like some sort of out for the dweller. But if anything, they still gotta like play through many things, and they probably just burn through some of their hand power just to get rid of the Abyss Dweller. And Abyss Dweller is an absolutely insane problematic card right now that I think should have been hit, and it should have been in this ban list. And I don't think D Fisher and Macrocosmos is really the correct move or game plan out of Konami, just because it makes the format just seem a lot more toxic. And now it's like with D Fisher and Macrocosmos and D Shifter. And also, I think D Shifter should have been on the list. It definitely should have been limited or semi-limited if Herald's gonna get hit. Um, I would have loved to see Called by the Grave get semi-limited. Again, though, shout out to Konami for finally giving us a ban list, but I do think that a lot of the cards that got banned or unlimited or whatever in this list were long overdue. And also, once again, just like Light Ass ban list, we banned Mystic Mine little too late. We banned Hulk way too late, and now it's like, okay, that's it. Like I definitely think there should have been a lot more things that could have been hit, just to try to balance out the formats, give rogue decks more of a chance, and also like hit the top decks right now. I definitely think Red Reboot should have been brought back. Um, uh, Exo Sisters, Tier, Sprite, all those decks, even Flu, if they just banned Barrier Statue, that would make life 10 times easier. Like, I don't think adding the extra floodgates was the correct play. But I mean, we'll see with the upcoming format now. It's going to be a very interesting couple of months. because we are probably not going to be getting another ban list until like January or February, which is super unfortunate just because we like it's kind of like the common thing here now in the TCG, but hopefully, well, in general, I still think tier is just gonna be a tier 0 deck. It's gonna be very interesting. I could see tier dropping to a tier 1 deck specifically now, just because D Fisher and Macrocosmos is gonna be a thing. But we're gonna just have to find out and see. I definitely think tier players like myself included are gonna be adding a lot more back row removal into the side deck. For D Fisher and Macrocosmos. It's good. It's definitely going to be a very interesting format. I am very excited to see what happens. I'm kind of like annoyed though that Herald of Orange Light got hit. I don't think that was the correct hit. I definitely think Dweller and the Shizu cards were the ones that should have gotten hit, and also Polareno. But again, I'm just a casual Yu-Gi-Oh player that makes YouTube videos, and tries to compete. That's really about it. Again though, I really wish Konami did more to this ban list. Like I think Sky Strikers with linkage being a thing, they could have semi limited engage. Um they could have just added what's it called? They could have unlimited Mali. I think that would have been very nice. There's just a lot of things in the deck right now, in the format right now, or just things in the ban list that I think they could have definitely did to either like increase rogue deck potentials and to also like slap some of the tier 1 decks. But obviously it seems like Konami really just wants to sell more of the tier of the current format decks. So which I don't really blame them. It makes sense. But again though, I really wish that they did this ban list a little bit sooner and that they added a lot more cards into it. Anyways, guys, this is gonna be your boy Seabass. I appreciate every single one of you guys. I have been busy working, been trying to get new cards, been trying to play test and get you guys the best content possible. If you guys haven't done so already yet, please hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. We are almost at 200 subs. I really appreciate the love and support from all of you guys. And it's been very motivating for me to push out more content, and I'm very happy with the community, and I can't wait to show you guys more. Again, guys, let me know your thoughts on the ban list in the comments down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials. Links are gonna be down in the description below. Uh, have a amazing day, guys. I hope you guys let me know in the comments what your guys' thoughts on the ban list was. Again, I think it's the same shit again, where Konami's just giving us some cards that were long overdue to get hit or unbanned, and again, it just really wasn't enough. Sorry if I just destroyed your ears with that. I did not mean to hit my mic. Anyways, guys, this is gonna be Seabass. Sign it out.